Ensuring Quality Education in Pandemic, an investigative study of the stress of e-learning affecting mental health during COVID-19 pertaining to university students studying in the Middle East with reference to Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Kuwait. My name is MARIUM BUSHRA. I am the team leader, and the other members in my group are KHADIJAH M. ALRASHIDI, RASHA ALMOHAIMEED, YUZHOU, YING, ASHWAQ MOHAMMED. People are not only at risk of suffering physical illness as a result of COVID-19 pandemic, but they are also experiencing mental discomfort. The impacts of COVID-19 pandemic on communication and education will be examined in this research paper. Furthermore, the link between long-term use of digital devices and mental health will be investigated. This research follows the process of introduction, literature review, methodology, data collection, and conclusion. Introduction. In 2015, world leaders agreed to a shared vision for people, planet, peace, partnership, and prosperity when they approved the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. It consisted of 17 economic, social, sustainable development goals. Goal number 4 aimed at quality education for all and encouraging lifelong learning opportunities for everyone. The target 4.3 states to ensure that all citizens have equal access to high-quality technical, vocational, and post-secondary education, including university, by 2030. However, a third of the time allotted to complete this agenda has passed, and several nations are still working to put in place procedures to track their progress towards all the SDG 4 targets. The unprecedented COVID-19, which has halted years of development, is a serious impediment to complete implementation of SDG 4 monitoring. The pandemic affected a record number of youth in 185 nations as schools and universities closed down. The study. For the past 2 years, COVID-19 has brought about significant changes in all aspects of life. Traditional educational practices have been changed by virtual classroom platforms such as video conferencing and LMS. However, it has been reported that exclusive e-learning methods of instruction have resulted in mental health issues such as anxiety and stress. The purpose of this study is to investigate the impact of COVID-19 induced e-learning on the stress perceptions of university students. COVID-19 has forced 1.4 billion students to stay at home. Students are confronted with a variety of obstacles as a result of online education, including technological, social, emotional, and psychological challenges. The problem statement is that COVID-19 has the potential to cause mental health issues. Academic stress is a prevalent mental health concern among university students, and it is caused primarily by the students' worry of losing their marks and failing, including a fear of poor performance and delay in completing their studies. The objective of this research is to investigate the impact of COVID-19 on e-learning experiences related to mental health and well-being, to provide remedial pedagogical strategies, and to make feasible recommendations for improving educational e-learning practices, prioritizing students' engagement. The research question under consideration is that is there a negative impact on students' mental health directly related to stress of e-learning for university students studying at 3 universities in the Gulf: Kuwait University, King Saud University, Saudi Arabia, and Sheikh Zayed University, UAE. How can universities in the Gulf region adopt and incorporate feasible and fair approaches in handling students' social, psychological preparedness in a pandemic? Thus, the significance of the study stems from the students' stress perception in the Gulf, with the primary focus on university students studying in Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Kuwait. The findings of the study will help higher education educators, administrators, policymakers improve e-learning implementations while ensuring students' mental and psychological well-being. The review of related literature highlights the various factors that impact the mental health of students in virtual learning setup. Mental health can be defined as emotional, psychological, and social well-being of an individual that determines how that person thinks, feels, behaves, and responds to stress. Mental health is very important at every stage of life. However, factors can contribute to the negative effect, including trauma and pandemic, which can generate the feelings of uncertainty, despair, anxiety, and loss of purpose. According to Chan, Yang, and Lee, there have been reports on the psychological impact of the epidemic on the general public, patients, medical staff, children, and older adults. In one study conducted in U.A.E. from May to June 2020, showed the impact of COVID-19 on university faculty, staff, students, as well as the coping strategy used during lockdown. In another study done in Oman, Nazwa by Malik and Javed, showed that public emergencies are combined with home confinement, the negative psychological effects are amplified. Al-Hadi wrote a research paper, The Mental Health Impacts of Pandemic COVID-19 Crisis on University Students in Saudi Arabia and Associated Factors, and found that more than 86.7% of the respondents were suffering from moderate to high perceived stress. The research methodology is descriptive. It's a survey-based method with the population taken from 3 universities, Sheikh Zayed University, U.A.E, King Saud University, KSA, and the University of Kuwait. The sampling size is 381 respondents with stratified sampling. The instrument will be used digital questionnaires, self-report questionnaires. The data will be analyzed on the basis of SPS 27, having a validity test of KMO Barrett test of sphericity and reliability test of Cronbach alpha. COVID-19 has wiped out 20 years of educational gains. It has affected 1.6 billion students in over 200 countries. We can conclude the link between physical and emotional health and academic achievement is well established. The primary aim of educational institutions, universities, should be to look for solutions to reduce stress in collaborative learning systems and empower students to take advantage of online learning opportunities. On the basis of data and conclusions will be reached, there will also be some recommendations after doing this research. The following are our references. Thank you so much.